Good morning, everybody. It's about 8 o'clock.
And I got out of the tent to one of the prettiest mornings ever. There is a nice layer of fog rising up on the water because this morning it was 47 degrees. So it was pretty cold. I actually woke up pretty early and decided I did not want to get up in that temperature and just went back to bed. But it is a very pretty morning.
So luckily this is the coldest morning I'm gonna have for a while. It's supposed to warm up after this and not be quite as bad. So that's good. I wasn't freezing or anything, but it was definitely a little chilly.
And again, there's just a crazy heavy dew. The tent is just absolutely soaked with dew. So pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything packed up, get breakfast going, and then head off towards Sioux City today. Well, it's 9 o'clock and I'm ready to go. I had a Rocky Mountain Scramble again for breakfast. It was good, and I've got coffee here, and I'm excited to go see Sioux City. So I got some good current today. Well, I have good current the rest of the trip, but that's still really exciting to say. So I'm going to head off now. All right, I'm off. So I didn't actually put it in the video, but I did find my other paddling glove. It was just in my clothes bag, as I hoped. So that was no big deal. It just went one day without it, and I was able to keep my hand from burning.
So I am still having a little bit of trouble with my bottom lip. It's got a pretty good size, I guess a sore on it from being burnt over and over again. So it's slowly healing, but it is taking forever. But that's okay. Hopefully it'll heal before the trip's over. It's not really bothering me too much. It's just something I gotta, be aware of. So other than that, I'm doing really well. I had a really good night's sleep, and I got a lot of sleep because I was able to stop early and get the video edited and go to bed at a reasonable time. So that was pretty awesome.
And now I'm just cruising down the river. It is a beautiful morning out here. Luckily, it's warmed up because it was pretty cold this morning. I had a really hard time getting out of the sleeping bag. So running along the shore here is a squirrel. And I haven't seen a squirrel in quite a while. That's kind of interesting. I didn't even realize that I haven't seen squirrels in so long because they're just a part of life usually, but pretty cool. So I'm just cruising down this shoreline. It's got this, it's lined with rock here. It's a pink quartzite, so it's a very pink rock that's when it's not been underwater and covered in scum. And above that are more of the pilings, just all along the shore here. So and with the current, I'm going about 5 miles an hour. Okay, I went ahead and put my sunshade up because there is no air movement at all this morning, and it's getting a little warm actually. So just staying out of the sun. Well, I'm not even to Sioux City yet, and the water quality is definitely dropping fast. There's foam and scum all over the top of the water, and it is slowly turning more and more brown. So pretty interesting just how fast it can change. It was pretty clear like a day and a half ago, and now it's most definitely not. So I didn't realize that I just spent my last night in North Dakota, because as soon as I get to Sioux City, it becomes Iowa once the big Sioux dumps into the river. So that's pretty exciting. It's another state down, and gonna pick up another state. They're coming on fast now, so pretty exciting stuff. I can't believe it. I feel like I've been in South Dakota for quite a while, but it's almost over, and I really enjoyed my time in South Dakota. It's a beautiful state. Well, I'm definitely getting closer to the city. The houses along the river are getting much bigger, and I can see traffic up ahead. So I believe on my trip up to Montana, I drove down this road right here that I'm about to pass. So that is pretty cool. I finally get to see it from the riverside. It only took almost 3 months to get here. So that sign right there says 735, and that's the mileage count of the river. And so it's going to be counting down every mile all the way down to 0 once I get to St. Louis. But they'll become a lot more prevalent as I travel downstream. Some of them, there aren't markers for every single mile, and quite a few of them the river destroys when it floods. So I won't be seeing them too often, but they will give you, they will be able to give me an idea how far down the river I am. So it's pretty interesting. Well, this is a pretty exciting milestone of the trip here. So this wing dam here is the last bit of South Dakota. So the Big Sioux River dumps in right here, and that is the Iowa-South Dakota border. So the Interstate 29 right there is in Iowa, and the other side is still Nebraska. So that is the last bit of South Dakota I will see on this trip. So another state down right here, and now we're into another one. So the exciting part is once I get through Sioux City, I'm going to be turning south and pretty much heading dead south until Kansas City. So very exciting stuff, and quite a bit more water is being dumped into the river from the Big Sioux River. And you got a nice tree in the water, as usual. There's actually not too many trees in the water in this channelized section, because with the river being so compressed, the current is so strong when it floods, it kind of sweeps everything away. So there's less worries about hitting snags. My sister and I did drive up this interstate, so it's very cool to see the river, 3 months later from this side. That sign up there says "Welcome to Iowa." So pretty cool. I'm going underneath this bridge here. It's a pretty good size one. I've never really enjoyed being in the big cities, but man, it's really jarring after being out in nature and by yourself for so long to be in civilization like this. Just passing by a wall of yellow flowers. The whole bank is just lined with them. I've seen a lot of this plant recently. It seems to be very common and flowering a lot right now. So I'm right beside Interstate 29, and coming up is the BNSF bridge. It's a railroad bridge built in 1983. But the interesting part is that the bridge that it replaced was built in 1888, and so it was a very old bridge. But apparently in the 1970s it was falling into disrepair, and it wasn't able to handle the weight of the more modern freight trains, so they demolished it and built this bridge. So pretty interesting. So it's a little after noon. I have menu 20 Italian sausage with peppers and onions and marinara sauce. And a Dr. Pepper. So that's supper as I just continue to go past these rock shores. The river is actually fairly narrow here, but I'm moving pretty quickly. I'm going almost 6 miles an hour. Well, this is pretty exciting. This is the first barge infrastructure on the Missouri River. So they have a train yard here that they use to fill railroad cars, but also this pier here is used to fill barges. So last time I went down the Missouri River 2 years ago, kind of as my test run, it was mid-October and the harvest was in full swing, and they were hauling grain out as fast as they could. So everything was very busy. But being before harvest, these places are pretty empty at the moment. Things won't speed up for another month or two. But that structure right here is where they fill the barges up. They pull them up along the pier here and fill the barges up using this using this structure here. So that's very cool. There aren't any barges here at the moment, and it makes you wonder where they're kept. Are they tied up along the river somewhere, or are they still down south? Pretty interesting stuff. Well, it's 1:30 and I'm just rocking down this outside edge where the fastest current is, and there's still basically no wind out today, so good thing it's only in the 70s, or this would be a very warm day today. So other than that, it's really pretty and I'm enjoying it out here. Got the insects singing along the shore, and just had a boat pass. That's why there's kind of some ripples going down the river, but still just a beautiful day out here. There's the 721 sign. A lot of them are pretty much covered in vegetation, but I'm moving today. It's not a lot's happened this afternoon. It's a little slow, and even though I got a ton of sleep, got a little tired there, the afternoon slump, but I think I'm past it now, and I'm just cruising down this shore. Just all rock basically on the outside shore, and the inside is small wing dams sticking out every, I don't know, 100 yards, and in between is just sand. So that's kind of what it's looked like for the past couple hours. I'm coming up on some kind of power plant deal here, some big massive structure right along the river. So pretty interesting. These will probably become more and more common the farther south I get. So according to Google, that's actually a fertilizer plant. Quite the facility. So those gray squares going up the side of that building are normal sized doors, just to kind of give you an idea of how huge that building is. And there is a lot of water rolling out of this plant. That is for certain. So I believe that's another fertilizer plant right there, and this is where they load the barges. They've got a big conveyor belt that drops it into a chute that can swing out over the water and fill the barges. So pretty interesting stuff. And next to it, I believe, is a power plant, an actual power plant here, and they've got a big water intake building right there. And there's a lot of noise coming off of it. Another big water discharge from the plants. That one's quite a bit of water dumping out. Pretty interesting. And I'm just cruising down the river. It's 5:30, and that sign there says 7:08.3. So I've made pretty good time today, and I'm really enjoying going down this river. Just staying right here on the edge in the fastest current, and I'll be crossing over as soon as I get to this point. for the next bend. Well, I saw this from a distance, couldn't figure out what it was, but there's a tree a little bit out in the middle, and someone put a traffic cone on it with some caution tape. So that's pretty interesting. There are not very many trees out in the middle of the channel here. That's one of the first ones I've seen this afternoon. And someone decided to, make it a lot more visible. So I'm just heading down the channel here. The river's gonna make a left-hand turn along these bluffs here. And it's a beautifully calm evening. Like, there's been almost no wind the entire day. And it's in the 70s, so a very nice day. I got a really nice bluff here that I'm following, and it's so cool today that it's almost cold in the shade. So that's pretty interesting. It's been a little hot in the sun because there's basically no air movement at all today. So I have been using this fan a little bit while in the sun, but as soon as you get out of it, the temperature just plummets. It's crazy. And it is just a beautifully calm day. I'm making really good mileage. And it's only a little after 6. Okay, so it's like 7:30 and I got a nice little spot here. The sun is starting to set and it's really pretty out here. So I've got my tent set up right there. I'm going to get everything shoved in there and start editing a video. It's actually a little warm in the sun here, but still a really nice little spot I managed to find. So I am charging my phone using my little solar panel here. Figured I might as well. And yeah, just setting up camp like normal. Okay, so it's a little after 9 o'clock. I've been using this camera to film a sunset, so I haven't really filmed anything. But I also haven't really done much, so I've got to edit the video still. I'm just set everything up in the tent and enjoyed a nice evening so far while I was recording the sunset. So yeah, it was I got some work to do ahead of me. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. So I'm a day late, but here's the hymn, Just a Closer Walk with Thee.